Okay, and finally, our last video in the series on the 1920s. Aren't you happy? I bet you are. Okay, and then I promise it won't take very long. All right, so let's talk about, well, not that guy. Well, we are going to talk about that guy. All right, promoting prosperity. Andrew Mellon. We've talked about him already a little bit. He was named Secretary of the Treasury by President Harding, and he ends up reducing government spending and cutting the federal budget. The federal budget was reduced by $7 billion between 1921 and 1929. Not a bad feat there. Secretary Mellon, he applied his idea of supply-side economics to reduce taxes. This idea suggested that lower taxes would allow businesses and consumers to spend and invest their extra money, resulting in economic growth. That's the idea. Now, in the end, the government would collect more taxes at a lower rate. That's what the idea is here. So Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover attempted to balance government regulation with cooperative individualism. Manufacturers and distributors were asked to form their own trade associations and share information with the federal government's Bureau of Standards at this time. Hoover felt this would reduce waste and cost and lead to economic stability. Okay, another items they focused on were trade and arms control at this time. All right, by the 1920s, the United States was the dominant economic power in the world. Allies owed the U.S. billions of dollars in war debts. Okay, also the U.S. national income was far greater than that of Britain, Germany, France, and Japan, all combined. Many Americans, we still favor isolationism rather than the involvement in international politics and issues. Thus, we did not join the League of Nations. Probably not a good idea, but oh well. Americans wanted to be left alone so they could pursue their prosperity. Now, the United States, however, was too powerful and interconnected in international affairs to remain isolated completely. Other countries felt that the United States should help with the war's financial debts. The United States government did disagree, arguing that the Allies had gained new territory and received reparations or huge cash payments that Germany paid as punishment for starting the war. These reparations had crippled the German economy. So as a result, Charles G. Dawes, an American diplomat and banker, negotiated an agreement, the Dawes Plan, with France, Britain, and Germany, by which American banks would make loans to Germany so they could meet their reparation payments. France and Britain agreed to accept less reparations and pay more on their war debts. The Washington Conference, held in 1921, also invited countries to discuss the ongoing post-war naval arms race. Secretary of State Charles Evans Hughes proposed a 10-year moratorium on the construction of any major new warships. The conference did nothing, though, to limit land forces. Japan became angry at this conference because the conference required that Japan keep a smaller navy than the United States or Great Britain. I guess, they wanted to have the same size navy. So this also leads in effect to the Kellogg-Briand Pact. This was a treaty that outlawed war. By signing the treaty, countries agreed to stop war and settle all disputes in a peaceful way. On August 27, 1928, the United States and 14 other nations signed it, and eventually 62 nations ratify it. The treaty had no binding force, but it was hailed as a victory for the world. All right, that concludes our sixth and final video. Don't forget, you have until Wednesday to get all your Edmodo quizzes done and to view all the videos. We are going to have a actual big quiz, next Friday over the 1920s. Enjoy, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you.